last ditch is brave. Life in fast lane, feeding fire. Tracks our only true desire. Helmet on, focused eyes. Crowds roar, reaches skies. Pit stop, seconds to spare. In this war, no place for care. To the finish line we drive. Screeching wheels, we come alive. Speed demons through the night. Racing with all our might.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll. We get ready to set these drivers loose for another amazing evening of racing action as we're live here from the last great Coliseum. It is Bristol Motor Speedway, the home of the premium stock car racing league here this evening. Only a few more races left till our playoffs get underway, so that means that every one of these drivers looking for a good night at the Speedway, hoping to punch their ticket on through to our NASCAR playoffs, or potentially gaining all those very valuable points to try to put themselves into a better position to lock themselves in through the point standings. Right now, 7 drivers have punched their ticket into our playoffs. 7 drivers are trying to race their way in through points, and everybody else back there behind them are trying to knock them out of one of those playoff positions here this evening. As we get ready to rock and roll, as we get ready to set these drivers loose for a great night of action, qualifying underway, drivers out there on the Speedway, we'll jump in and get a quick word in here from our for our opening command. Is Lonnie Crider coming in with our opening command here once again this evening? A huge shout out to Lonnie Crider coming in and giving us the command here on the day.
It's another Saturday night. We're back here at Bristol for another great night of racing. What good racing it should be. All the guys out there come out tonight to race. We sure appreciate them coming every week racing and racing their hearts out and being away from their families as they race. But we'd like to take a few minutes to pray for all the ones that was involved in the hurricane. So please pray for each and every one of those families, and God, we know God's with them, and God will be put his hand up on them and take care of them, and just continue to pray for all the disasters that happen. So gentlemen, have a great race tonight. Start those engines and let's go racing.
Alrighty, huge shout out there to Lonnie Crider once again coming in with our opening command. As Jimmy 6 times says, Crider career best P66 and quali P66. My gosh, we got 66 drivers getting ready to take the green flag here this evening. I'm gonna need a raise. No, I'm just kidding, fellas. As we're gonna get ready here for our opening command here, and our opening anthem is our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please rise and remove your hats as Landon Burbage is going to bring us our national anthem here this evening. Alrighty, shout out there to Landon Burbage coming in with our national anthem here this evening as we'll get ready to rock and roll. 250 laps of racing action here this evening for the Premium Stock Car Racing League, and bringing us down to the green flag here this evening in the number 2 ride. He just played us the trumpet. It's the ally ride of Landon Burbage who will bring us to the green flag. Starting in position number 2 to his outside in the Racers for Christ number 16, that is Matthew Wood. Starting in position number 3 in the 6th ride is the Gaston's iRacing Graphics PSCRL number 6 machine, that is Brian Underwood. To his outside in the Axe Coca-Cola Target number 64, that is Scott Healy. And then down on the inside, a row number 3 in the 77 is the Beyond Detailing ride of Aiden Lucas. To his outside in the Robert Up Productions number 5, that is Josh Crider there in the 6th position. Starting in position number 7 in the Optic Texas number 1 machine, that is Jordan Hand. To his outside in the Mountain Dew Doritos machine, that is Grant Applegate. Bring up the inside row of row number 5 here on the evening is the 29 of Chris Stage. To his outside, that is the NJBDesigns.com number 9 ride of Noah Blackwell. Starting in position number 11, that is the beautiful looking ride here for Dylan Carrier. To his outside in the 25, that is William Connolly. Nathan Brookover, Danny White going to bring up row number 7 as we'll see Farrell Robbins and what was supposed to be Dallas Seaworth there in the 8th row, but we'll see the 54 roll up into that 16th position. So Thomas Horvath going to start there in position number 16. Then we see Jaden Porter, Benjamin Romano, Jonathan Gaston, Ryan Haller, our top 20 here on the Speedway. Paul LaCour, Evan Stewart, Melvin Brengruer, Evan Wanker there in the 24th position. Ben Gleason, Chris Getz, and Dallas Seaworth bringing up the rear of the field here. But Dallas going to start down pit side as the lights are off. The official iRacing pace car. He's going to make that hard left-hand turn down pit side. We're going to get ready to set these drivers loose. We're going to get ready to go green flag racing here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here you go. 26 of the best to do it here in iRacing are going to get ready to duke it out in the last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway, the home of the Premium Stock Car Racing League here this evening as they creep down behind our official iRacing pace car down into corner number 3. The pace car getting ready to make that hard left-hand turn down pit side, and that will unleash this field back to green flag racing. Here in this one is out of corner number 4. The green flag into the air. Landon Burbage will see it first, and he is quickly onto the loud pedal and going to lead us down into corner number 1. Here comes that 16, though. Matthew Wood going to charge to his outside down the back straightaway, door to door down into corner number 3. Still door to door down through 4, but a good run there at corner number 4, and that will move the 16 of Matthew Wood to the front of the field. So Wood will take that first lap here away from Landon Burbage, but Burbage battling back now on that inside lane, and don't look now because here comes Scott Healy as we get another race leader as Landon Burbage is going to jump up and take this race lead away from Matthew Wood. So the 2 ride hooked up early on this evening leads the way and has this car out in front as Natalie Underwood coming in showing the love here in this one. I'm not sure, are we skipping frames, chat? I don't want to be skipping frames. We got to make sure we're not skipping frames or anything. If we need to, we can try to throw this into a little bit of a performance mode because we don't want to be skipping no frames. We want to make sure everything is absolutely perfect and looking beautiful here this evening. Looks like things are running a little bit smoother now, so that should fix it up. As out in front, the 2 ride. Leading the way, Landon Burbage at the front of the field. Matthew Wood there in second early on. Scott Healy there into third. You see Brian Underwood right there in position number 4 and looking for more. Josh Crider now into that 5th position. Jordan Hand there in 6th with Aiden Lucas, Chris Stage, and Grant Applegate battling back here for the 7th, 8th, and 9th position on the Speedway. Look out, Applegate getting very loose there out at quarter number 4. Luckily enough, able to catch that ride and keep it pointing the right direction, but again, almost gets gets up into the outside fence and almost comes down and collects that 9 rider Noah Blackwell. Blackwell going to look to try to get around him here as quickly as possible. Is Blackwell down low, going to slide up into position number 9 for that 9 ride. You see the 25 really push the subject on the inside lane. He's going to open up the door down low here on Dylan Carrier. Carrier going to go up to that outside groove here as they battle back here for the 11th position on the Speedway. A good run right there through corner number 1 and 2 for the 88, and he will stay there in the 11th spot. Still battling though right in front of him. Applegate on the outside of the 9 rider Noah Blackwell. Blackwell trying to jump up there. We do see a little contact. Oh, hang on to it. Oh, baby, things are getting spicy here in this one. Thomas Horvath almost going around, almost going for a big spill down through corner number 1 and 2. My gosh, I don't know how he saved this ride, but somehow or another, he was able to. He tries to cut down in front of the number 79 rider, Danny White, down at the apron, comes back on, hits Danny White as well. White, I don't know how he kept that car pointing the right direction. We stay clean and green out there on the Speedway. A little bit of damage, a little bit of contact there for both of those contenders, as we did see Thomas Horvath unfortunately slide all the way back here now to the 21st spot. Danny White now in that 17th spot. We now see Paul LaCour turned around. There is our first caution flag of the evening. Our race leader was just about to get into some lap traffic here in this one, and it's Paul LaCour, the first car to go around here in this one. Let's take a look. He's riding behind Kevin Winker, the Muhlenberger Custom Homes number 42 ride. They come out at corner number 2, and I'm not sure if that was netcode or if LaCour just gets loose here out of the corner. Definitely doesn't look like the 42 really comes down or anything else, but it does look like he goes up after maybe a little netcode right there. Unfortunately, just shoves that front end of the 41 hard down into the infield safer barrier here, and then watch everybody else trying to scatter, trying to get around him here. That was Gleason in the Oscar Mayer 66 ride, just barely able to get out of the way. Let's see if we can jump on board here with Paul LaCour and see what he can see from the cockpit of this number 41 machine. Gets a great run down low here on Kevin Winker, then just out of the corner. Car just kind of kicks out around on him there, hard down into the inside fence, and the motor goes right there. And here comes our race leaders right at him. There goes Mr. Burbage, and that was a close call for all of our front runners here in this one. But now some pit strategy underway. Drivers getting ready to kind of get lined back up, stacked back up, and ready to go back to battle here in this one. As Tyler Hall says, it was skipping a moment ago. I think it's okay now. Okay, perfect. I love to hear that. Love to hear that, Tyler. Sometimes YouTube, or sometimes when they connect with Facebook and Twitch, sometimes they don't like to always work together. Sometimes bitrate or something else can be a little bit better on one side than another side, creates a little bit of skip frames. So we want to make sure we can avoid any skip frames, give you guys the best, cleanest picture possible here on PeaceMaker Gaming. And right now, so far, it's been pretty good. We've seen some great racing here for only being 16 laps into this race. It's been going pretty smoothly. We've seen a couple drivers bouncing around, making some moves out there on the racetrack, and we're going to see that more and more as this night goes on. And you'll see a little bit of payback, a little bit of redemption, a little bit of everything here this evening at Bristol Motor Speedway. Is usually it tends to get a little bit physical out there on the Speedway, to say the least. Drivers kind of get a little bit aggravated. They get a little bit, upset with each other, especially how they're being ran, whether or not it's in this race or it's been in previous races. There's no love lost between these competitors out there on the Speedway after previous weeks of being tied up together or running into issues. So we are in for a treat here this evening. This really unleashes these drivers, puts them into a very tight arena to go to battle here, and that's why this is the last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway, and there's no better place to be on a Saturday night under the lights cheering on your favorite drivers than here at Bristol. As Landon Burbage continues to lead the way, Matthew Wood there in second, Scott Healy in third with Brian Underwood and Josh Crider, our top 5 here on the Speedway. Jordan Hand up into 6 is Aiden Lucas, Noah Blackwell, Dylan Carrier, and it is the 24, I know it's the number 25, right? William Connolly, who's going to round out our top 10 here on the Speedway. as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in the comment section right now, let us know who you're cheering for, who you want to see in victory lane here this evening. Who do you want to see pick up the dub and park their ride up in the Bristol Motor Speedway victory lane? As the pace car makes that hard left-hand turn down through the Geico restart zone. Landon Burbage brings him to a slow pace, gets a great launch right there and quickly pulls down the racetrack in front of the 16 of Matthew Wood, trying to keep all these drivers back there behind him as Wood trying to mount another challenge to get back around his teammate in that Ally HendrickCars.com number 2 machine. As Landon Burbage out in front, Brian Underwood now into third here is Scott Healy. Slides back to position number 4. Jordan Hand up a spot quickly here in the Optic Texas number 1, right into position number 5. Out here on the Speedway is Josh Crider, Noah Blackwell, Aiden Lucas, Dylan Carrier, and William Connolly still rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway. Grant Applegate there in the Mountain Dew, number 57, trying to work himself around the 25. One of the best battles here on the Speedway, as we do see that 6th rider, Brian Underwood. He's able to make himself a way around Matthew Wood. So he splits up the twosome, the gruesome twosome here at the front of the field, as Landon Burbage and Matthew Wood worked well together here. Teammates out there on the Speedway, they tend to work together each and every single week, and it's found victory lane quite a few times for Matthew Wood, but maybe tonight will be a different story. Maybe we'll see that too, right? Landon Burbage get up into victory lane here himself, but right now he's going to have to try to hang on and hold off that 6th rider, Brian Underwood. Is Underwood all over our race leader here, trying to jump up into the number 1 spot here on the Speedway. More battling back throughout the field. His drivers trying to work themselves closer and closer to the front of the pack. You see the 29 ride of Chris Staines working down low as the 25 of Connolly gets a little loose there on corner exit. That's going to allow Benjamin Romano to get around him already. Benjamin up 12 spots here on the Speedway. Started back in the 22nd position. This DuPont number 24 up 10 or 12 spots and inside our top 10 now, and looking to go around the 77 of Aiden Lucas already here in this one. Drivers trying to reel them in as well, trying to get around that 77 ride, as the Beyond Detailing machine has a little bit of right rear damage on that ride. Unfortunately, looks like he's maybe gotten up into a fence or something around the Speedway, and that's affecting the handling of that 77 ride, as Romano's going to get around him. There goes Chris Staines. William Connolly going to go around the 77 as well. Here comes Applegate, Ben Gleason, the 99 rider, Ryan Haller back here in that 15th position. Melvin Brengruer back here in 16th. Then we see Jaden Porter and Thomas Horvath battling back here in the 17th and 18th spot on the racetrack. Kevin Winkert there in the 19th position, as Danny White here behind him running out our top 20. Farrell Robbins there in the 21st spot, battling door to door here with Dallas Seward. Seward back out there onto the racetrack, so good to see Seward out there and still on the lead lap for the 38 ride after missing the start of this race. Nathan Brook over in the beautiful number 8 ride, the Nutter Butter ride there in the 23rd spot, has Jonathan Gaston, Chris Getz, Paul LaCourte, and Evan Stewart bringing up the rear of the field here, as Paul LaCourte still a lap down on the Speedway, and I do believe Evan Stewart off the racetrack as well. So right now, Paul LaCourte, the only driver a lap or multiple laps down, so he's hoping for a few quick caution flags and maybe a couple opportunities for him to get the wave around. The lucky dog can maybe get himself back onto the lead lap here this evening. As you do see Chris Getz get up into the outside fence there ever so slightly, is out in front. We do see a pass for the race lead as Brian Underwood has found himself a way to the front of the field. So Underwood able to jump up and take this lead away, as there you go. There's the caution flag. Our second caution flag of the evening is going to fly. Looks like Kevin Winker Nation going to run into some issues here. Kevin battling just inside the top 20 out there on the Speedway. And, looks like Jaden Porter gets really loose coming out at corner number 4 there, and unfortunately comes right down over the nose here of Kevin Winker. Watch the 74 on the outside lane up on the high side here unfortunately just gets loose, washes down and across the nose of Kevin Winker. It just shoves that front nose of Winker right down the speedway and hard down into the NASCAR emblem on the inside wall there. Pretty good, significant front end damage for that 42 ride. Let's see if we can jump on board with Kevin Winker, see what he can see here from the cockpit as he's battling here, trying to work himself through it, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, that 74 ride of Jaden Porter up and over his nose, and around he goes right here. Bam. There's the contact. Nothing he can do except for hang on and lock that car down and hope to have the best, and he actually gets hit by somebody else here as well. Somebody afterwards. Oh, that's the 72 ride. Jonathan Gaston's going to come in and absolutely clean him out. I'm not sure if there was anyone else that came into this as well, but as he just slides back up onto the speedway, you're going to see the 72 ride and the 76 get a little damage there as well. Oh, man, that was a heavy, heavy hit right there. Paul LaCour going to get more contact into that as well, and Kevin Winker's issues went from being fairly major to absolutely major right there. As, man, that was a big, big hit right there for Jonathan Gaston, for Paul LaCour. A lot of these drivers, oh, man, this gets in there. Unfortunately, hard contact. Let's see if we can play this back and jump on board here with the 72 ride. He's going to come out of corner number 4. He sees these cars spin out down low and tries to shoot for the bottom. Unfortunately, that's where Winker comes to a stop, and fortunately for Jonathan Gaston, that ride is going to need some serious love here tonight, as that thing is absolutely tore apart. As we'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. Brian Underwood out in front of the field. He continues to lead the way. Landon Burbage there in second. Matthew Wood, Jordan Hand, Josh Crider, our top 5 here on the speedway. Noah Blackwell there in position number 6 with Scott Healy, Dylan Carrier, Chris Stange, and Ben Gleason rounding out our top 10 now on the racetrack. Is Gleason up into that 10th position. A little bit of different pitch strategy here for these drivers, for these competitors, as we'll get them ready to go back to battle. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments. We'll take a good look here on this restart with Josh Crider. We actually got a couple different camera angles here with Mr. Crider. Let's see, as Dallas says, rest in peace. Rip is for certain, brother. Rip is for certain. As we got a couple camera angles here for Josh Crider. These are absolutely amazing camera angles that we get to see on this number 5 right here for the restart. You see the foot cam there below him, the driver cam up above him here, and that will give you guys a great look and a great view at what he's doing out there on the speedway. Let's see if we can jump right in board here with this 5 ride for this restart. As he'll head down into corner number 4. He's going to get ready to rock and roll, so the RPMs are about to get ready to jump through the roof as the Pinks car makes that hard left-hand turn. Crider right here getting onto the gas, and here you go. You're going to see him having to shift through the gears and up the top speed down into corner number 1. Now you're going to see that footwork, trying to work that gas pedal, trying to work that brake pedal, as he looks now down low underneath the 16 ride of Matthew Wood. Actually takes him 3 wide there for a split second, as Wood works still to his outside. They go back to 2x2 here, as Crider still trying to work underneath of that 16. Now has the number 64 Healy to his outside, so Healy trying to jump up and make the move around Josh Crider. Crider unfortunately sliding a little farther backwards here, as that's Dylan Carrier right there in front of him. The 88 ride starting to make his way to the front of the field, and so isn't Noah Blackwell. Huge shout out right there to Josh Crider, giving us a great look here, not only in the driver's webcam, but also with that foot cam as well. Really being able to see what this driver's doing, getting into the corners, working that gas, working that brake, and you can really see those inputs there perfectly with the webcam. So we give a huge shout out there to Mr. Crider for having those turned on for us on the evening. As out in front of the field, it is still Brian Underwood. Underwood continuing to lead the way here in that 6 ride. We get a new second place driver. It's Jordan Hand. Hand now up into position number 2. The Optic Texas ride jumps up into that 2nd spot on the speedway as Landon Burbage there in position number 3. Matthew Wood there in 4th, trying to work again to the outside of that 2 ride. Almost gets up into the outside fence right there as Noah Blackwell up into the 5th position. You see Scott Healy there in 6th. Chris Stange now up into 7th as Dylan Carrier slides back into the 8th position. Ben Gleason, Thomas Horvath battling here for position position number 9 and 10 on the Speedway, as Josh Crider slides back now to position number 11. Now that's a major spot right there, as he was on the outside of some stage points looking in, as stage number 1 will come to a close here at the completion of lap number 60. So lap 60, if we see that caution flag fly and no drivers going around, we know what it's for. It is for that first stage break of the evening. Our second stage break will be at lap 120 here this evening. So stages are broken up 60 laps, and our final stage will be 130 laps of racing action here this evening. And there is a caution flag. So the caution flag going to come out here once again. I do believe this is the fourth caution flag now on the evening, and I do believe it is, take a look back here a little bit, I do believe Danny White is going to get collected here in this one as the 79 right. Ooh, 84, Brangruer, the 25 of Connolly going to come together. Unfortunately here for the 79, just nowhere for him to go, as he's going to drive right into this one. Heavy contact there for him, heavy contact for the drivers right in front of him here as well. So let's take a look here. William Connolly working to the inside here. Melvin Brangruer, unfortunately, they're just going to make some contact. Looks like the 25 right there just gets loose underneath of him here. So that little bit of a wobble here, you're going to see it right about there. Wobbles the car. Unfortunately, washes up the racetrack into that left rear quarter panel of the 84 rider, Brangruer. Brangruer just trying to hang on to it. Unfortunately, 25 going to get back into him. Nowhere to go for the 79 machine of Danny White. As White just nowhere for him to go there in that one. Is Connolly hard down into the inside wall. Brangruer hard in there as well. And that number 79 of Danny White getting some pretty heavy damage there as well, as we'll jump right on board with Danny White. Yeah, just unfortunately nowhere for him to go. And man, that was a heavy, heavy hit there for himself and Melvin Brangruer. Let's take another look at it here. You'll see right here from the cockpit where this 25 ride, maybe a little contact beforehand to get him loose. Maybe just a little neck code right there. But you're going to see this 25 working that bottom lane, and all of a sudden just gets very, very loose here right there. I'm not sure if there was neck code contact or not, and then he gets loose and washes up into that left rear quarter panel of this 84. And look at this, man, just nowhere to go, right into the numbers there for Danny White and Melvin Brangruer. And then this is a hard hit as they come off the outside fence, and a lot of force there into that 79 right and the 84. So a couple tore up race cars again down on the bottom of the Speedway. So we'll get them stacked up once again. We'll get them racked up once again. We'll get ready to try this all over again here. Some more pit strategy for some of these drivers coming down pit side again. Maybe trying to get some repairs. Maybe trying to get their cars fixed up, and maybe an extra set of tires thrown onto them here, as you do see Kevin Winker come down pit side, as they know it's going to be a bit of a short run back to the green flag here, and it's going to be a short run to the next yellow flag, as the stage break going to come out on lap number 60. We should be seeing the green flag fly around lap 54, so it should be about a 5 to 6 lap shootout here to finish off stage number 1 here this evening. Now there's a lot of points to go towards the playoffs. If you don't have a win yet, you're trying to race your way into the playoffs on those points alone. Having this big run, having a good finish here in this stage and getting all those stage points can really help you out. If you're already locked in or you're feeling good on those points, if you can pick up that stage win, not only do you get a lot of extra points, but you also get that one bonus point for the playoffs as well. So that one bonus point could be the big difference maker between making it to another round or not here when it comes to our NASCAR playoffs later in the season. As we get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go, it is Brian Underwood out in front of the field. He'll choose the outside lane, which will give Jordan Hand the bottom lane here on the restart. He does have quite a bit of rear end damage here. Looks like someone's gotten into the back end of that one ride, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him. Is down through the Geico restart zone. A good launch there for our race leader, Brian Underwood. He'll lead us back down into corner number 1. So Underwood out in front as Matthew Wood trying to jump up into position number 2 here. Gets a great run to the outside of Jordan Hand. Hand trying to take a look down low underneath our race leader, but Underwood going to be able to hold them off there for that lap. Here comes Noah Blackwell as well. Blackwell right there working to the outside of Landon Burbage, and now working to the outside of Jordan Hand for position number 3 here on the Speedway. As these playoff points, they mean the world to each and every one of these drivers. So the intensity is going to continue to be ramped up right until we see that green and white checkered flag to finish off this stage. As Brian Underwood out in front here, going to take us down across the line one more time here in this one, as Underwood looking to try to pick up this stage win, trying to earn himself all those points and the playoff point that comes along with the stage win here this evening. Matthew Wood trying to look to pad his points lead and his playoff points lead here on the evening, as he's right there in second trying to hunt down that 6th ride, as Brian Underwood going to keep him back here at bay as of right now, is down into corner number 3. Nice and easy down and out of corner number 4 with only, I do believe now, 58 laps in, so only a couple more laps left to go here in this stage. Can Brian Underwood hold him off, or can Matthew Wood get around him? Wood's going to take a peek down to the inside. Here comes Matthew Wood trying to look for the race lead, is down across the line, still clicking another lap off. Wood will have to try to mount another challenge here as he's trying to get wound back up, trying to figure out a way to jump up here and get around that number 6 ride. Noah Blackwell there in 3rd. Scott Healy now in 4th. Landon Burbage there in the 5th position. It's down across the line. We will see that yellow flag fly. So the green and white checkered flags out here, stage number 1 going to come to a close here. So stage number 1 coming to a close, and that means Brian Underwood is going to pick up that first stage win of the evening. A big win and a big run right there for Mr. Underwood. Let's see if we can pull Brian up into the booth here real quick. Let's see if we can find a lobby that we can pull him into. Not sure if we're going to be able to find one here. Let me see, chat. Let me see if we can get him in here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our stage 1 winner, Brian Underwood, missed the commitment cone there for pit lane. We'll wait till he gets into his pit box here and gets ready to rock and roll for this pit stop, because we don't want to bother him too much. He's going to find his pit stall right there, so we will get ready to pull him up and into the booth. Hey, Brian, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. To get a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Ryan, brother, a great first stage here on the evening. You're able to pick up that first stage win on the night, man. How do you feel if they're on the Speedway? How do you feel about going into the second stage and for the rest of the evening?
I feel pretty good. I just somehow got a unsafe pit entrance, so I don't know about that. But otherwise, I feel pretty good as the run goes on, running the bottom and the top. So just got to make my way through the field, and it seems like the back is pure chaos. So we're going to have to find out.
Yeah, it's definitely a hornet's nest back there, trying to work yourself through the traffic, and that penalty that you're looking at, we noticed it just before we pulled you in here. It looked like when he came down onto the apron and down pit lane, he actually missed that commitment
cone.
I
see it now.
So yeah,
Damn.
Commitment cone violation right there for our stage 1 winner. But Brian, you're looking fast, you're looking fresh out there on the Speedway. I'm sure without a doubt we'll see you trying to work yourself back up here to the front of the field, and hopefully we'll see you back up here in the broadcast booth before the end of the evening, man. But congrats on that stage 1 win, and hopefully maybe stage 2 or stage 3 and being the race winner here on the evening.
All right, yeah, I'll be up there. Just give me a little bit of time.
All right, brother. We will we'll keep an eye out on you and see how you're making your way back up through the field.
Thanks.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Brian Underwood, our stage 1 winner. Our stage 1 winner there, Mr. Underwood, having himself a great run and a great drive there in that one. And then we saw that pit road penalty. We talked about it just before we pulled him in, missing that commitment cone to come down pit side. And unfortunately, that will put him at the rear of the field. So Underwood going from picking up the stage win to now finding himself on the outside of the top 20 here, looking in, and he's going to have to be eyes all around him here and trying to make sure he keeps himself clean and green and trying to work himself back up through the traffic, back up through the field here in this one to try to make it through easily here this evening back to the front of the field. As we'll get ready to go back, the green flag racing stage number 2 is about to get underway here in this one. It is Dallas Seward out in front, Danny White in second, Matthew Wood in position number 3 with Noah Blackwell there in 4th. Then we see Scott Healy, Landon Burbage, the 88 of Dylan Carrier, the 54 Thomas Horvath. Then we see the 76 of Farrell Robbins and Josh Crider rounding out our top 10. But we got a whole new front row as Dallas Seward, Danny White going to lead us down to the green flag as Seward with a big jump in that 38 ride as we see the green flag back out here at Bristol Motor Speedway. So a big launch and a big run right there for Dallas Seward as he's looking to try to keep these drivers back there at bay. But here comes Noah Blackwell. Blackwell gonna jump up and take this race lead away from the 38 ride. Dallas Seward gonna slide back now to 3rd and maybe even 4th as here comes Landon Burbage and here comes Matthew Wood looking for the race lead. As Noah Blackwell is able to jump up and take this lead away, the Agrol himself is at the front of the field and he's trying to put these drivers all back here behind him, trying to keep them back there as he is hot like wasabi here this evening. Having that 9 right at the front of the field, but there goes that 16. A beautiful run down through 3 and 4, and Matthew Wood will pull himself now into the top spot here, and here comes Landon Burbage. Gonna put that move on to the outside as well of that 9 right for position number 2, and look at this once again. Matthew Wood, Landon Burbage, 1 and 2 here on the Speedway. Blackwell there in 3rd as Danny White holding on to position number 4. Good recovery here for that Jack Daniel 79 right after a couple heavy hits there for that 79 machine. He's able to keep himself up here in contention inside the top 5 for a little while, but then you see Scott Healy getting around him. Here comes the 88 of Dylan Carrier. A little bit of those fresher tires start to work themselves around that 79 machine. Thomas Horvath back there in the 7th spot. We see Josh Crider, Grant Applegate, Eden Lucas rounding out our top 10. Is already falling back deeper through the field in that 38 ride is Dallas Seward. Seward now back into that 15th position here. A tough break here for Dallas as Dallas has been sliding farther and farther back here, just trying to work himself up and through the field. We got a good look here at Dallas in the webcam. We'll get that up and onto the screen here for you guys so you guys can get a good look here at this number 38 and what he's doing out there on the Speedway, trying to navigate around the 29 ride right here as they continue to duke it out. This is for that 15th position on the Speedway, and looks like Chris Stange is going to take that spot away from Dallas Seward here in this one. So Seward sliding backwards here. That pitch strategy had him out in front, leading some laps for a little bit, but now trying to hang on to that 38 ride, continuing to slide backwards here more and more and more. Another driver that was working themselves up to the front of the field here is a huge thank you to Dallas Seward having that driver cam turned on for us to get a good look here inside of the driver's cockpit here this evening and see what he's doing here and how he's focused up and navigating through the traffic and trying to keep himself pointed in the right direction out there on the Speedway. Now it's Jaden Porter down to his inside, as we also have our race leader, Matthew Wood, actually is not our race leader anymore, as we do see the 2 rider, Landon Burbage. Landon is going to jump up and take this race lead away. So Landon Burbage now to the front of the field here. So Landon Burbage at the front. He's going to be able to take that race lead back away from Matthew Wood. We do got Landon here as well with the webcam, so you guys can get another good look here at our race leader. A little darker there. You can see the PC up to the far left, and you can see that wheel working here this evening. Landon focused up, trying to hit his mark, trying to keep this ally. HendrickCars.com Premium Stock Car Racing League number 2 right at the front of the field is Landon Burbage strolling here around Bristol Motor Speedway, looking to see if he can try to pick up stage win number 2 here on the evening. As once again, stage number 2 is going to end here at lap 120. So we'll keep an eye out for that 120 marker here on the evening, as you definitely don't want to see these drivers, having to battle, or if you see the intensity starting to ramp up, that number 152 or 120 is going to be that number to keep an eye out for. So lap 120, end of this second stage, and these drivers are going to be on top of their game, trying to pick up those stage points, trying to pick up a stage win. As right now, the two-rider Landon Burbage continues to lead the way. Matthew Wood, though, right there behind him in second. Scott Healy, Thomas Horvath, Grant Applegate, our top five here on the racetrack. Noah Blackwell back there at 6. Dylan Carrier, Danny White hanging on here in the 79. Ryan Woolen there in the 8th position. Josh Crider working there behind him. And then we see Jordan Hand, our top 10 here on the Speedway. Farrell Robbins there in 11th with Ben Gleason, Benjamin Romano, Chris Stange, Brian Underwood back here in the 15th position as Underwood, we saw pick up stage win number 1, had that commitment cone violation down pit side, and unfortunately had to get the EOL in start here at the rear of the field for this second stage. Now he's been able to work himself up and through a lot of these drivers, probably around the top, he's probably past about 10 cars now out there on the racetrack to work himself into this 14th spot, but these passes are going to get tougher and tougher and tougher for that 6th machine as he's up into the 14th spot. Stange back now to position number 15. Aiden Lucas in the Beyond Detailing 77 ride, rolling there in the 16th position. Let me see William Connolly, Kevin Winker, Jaden Porter, Ryan Holler, our top 20 here on the Speedway. Dallas Seaward back to 21st. Chris Getz there in 22nd. Nathan Brookover in the 23rd spot. Then we see Paul LaCourte, one of the first drivers, a lap down out there in the Speedway. Melvin Brenker off of the racetrack, and Jonathan Gaston also off of the Speedway, as well as Evan Stewart. So 27 drivers started this evening, 24 drivers still roll out there on the racetrack, as unfortunately a few of them already out of this race. And some great battling here around the field. These drivers continue to put on a heck of a show for us as Landon Burbage leads the way here in this one. Burbage at the front of the field, showing these drivers how to get it done here in this one, as Matthew Wood working right there to his back bumper. Here comes Scott Healy trying to make this a 3-car battle at the front of the field. Is down across the line. I do believe we're going to see lap number 91 go up and onto the board here. So we're counting down these laps in a quick hurry, and we're going to jump into a very quick PeaceMaker Gaming Crank It Up. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite driver as we crank it up here on PeaceMaker Gaming. Caution flag going to come out here, so caution flag is going to be displayed. Our PeaceMaker Gaming Crank It Up going to come to a quick close here in this one, as we will take a look and see what happened here as we saw that 24 Ryan go for a bit of a spill. Let's take a look back and see what happens to Benjamin Romano. We saw Romano working himself up through the field rather quickly early in this race, and then he was kind of stuck here around that 10th position, battling with Danny White. Here comes that 6th ride. Brian Underwood, unfortunately, looks like Underwood going to get into his back end here, give him a shot in the shorts, and that's just going to shoot that 24 ride, the DuPont Chevrolet, down the Speedway hard into that inside wall. Heavy damage there for the 24, and then you see everyone else trying to scatter, trying to avoid any additional contact here with that 24 machine, and does a great job to avoid him. Everyone does a good job to make sure they don't get collected in any of this aftermath, as he's going to take his car right down pit side. Let's see if we can jump on board here with this 24, as they're battling hard here in this pack, and unfortunately just out at corner number 2, gonna get a shot right there, and he does. You know, you just see that 24 shoot down the racetrack. We saw that time and time again already here tonight. Just coming out of the corner, you can really jack these cars up and hooked them sideways down the straightaways, and unfortunately that's exactly what happens to the 24 ride of Benjamin Romano, and that is a tough break there for that number 24 here this evening, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. As so far, man, some pretty great racing, a lot of back and forth, a lot of great battling out there on the Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys have been enjoying the racing action, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, as we continue to try to grow more and more here on PeaceMaker Gaming. As Denver Willman, Denver coming in, smashing that like on the stream. How are you, Denver? Denver coming in, showing the big love here in this one. How are you, brother? Coming in, smashing that thumbs up over there on Facebook. As laps are clicking down more and more. We get closer and closer to the end of stage number 2 here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got almost 30 viewers tuning in and watching over on YouTube. We only got 2 reactions on the broadcast, only 2 likes on the stream. So make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you guys are feeling generous, make sure you check out everything we got to offer here on PeaceMaker Gaming. Hit that join button, become part of the PeaceMaker members group here today. Exclusive group, you get exclusive content, exclusive one-on-one time here with yours truly, PeaceMaker Gaming, for any racing or any kind of other fun that we have here on these broadcasts. So make sure you guys check it out, hit that join button here today, as we are going to get ready to go back to green flag racing. Is out in front, it's the Ally HendrickCars.com number 2, Landon Burbage. Burbage leading the way here in this one with Matthew Wood there in second. Thomas Horvath and Scott Healy there in second, or third and fourth on the Speedway. And third row, Grant Applegate, Noah Blackwell there in the 5th and 6th position, as we go back to green flag racing. Is down through the Geico restart zone. We see the green flag back out into the air for the 2 rider, Landon Burbage, as Burbage sees that green flag fly, battling door to door with his teammate at the front of the field. These two have battled together multiple times in multiple races. Unfortunately for the 2 rider, Landon Burbage is yet to find himself away into victory lane. Has always came home as the bridesmaid there behind his teammate Matthew Wood. Will the roles be reversed here this evening? Can Landon Burbage exercise the demons and pull that monkey off his back and find himself away into the Bristol Motor Speedway victory lane here this evening? As Wood stays right there behind, we do see Blackwell now up into position number 3. Scott Healy sliding a little farther backwards here, trying to hang on to that 4th spot here on the racetrack, as you see Thomas Horvath right there as well, was trying to take a look underneath that 64 ride, couldn't quite get the run, is now he's going to have to try to deal with Josh Crider, Dylan Carrier, Grant Applegate, Jordan Handing, Chris Stange are top 10 here on the Speedway. Ben Gleason there in position number 11 with Brian Underwood there in 12th, as these drivers continue to battle out here on the Speedway. A little bit of loosey-goosey there down the back straightaway here. We'll take another quick break. We're going to jump into a quick PeaceMaker Gaming Crank It Up. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite driver. Never mind, chat. Never mind. Your boy just trying to get a drink in here, chat. My gosh, the crank it up caution flag is going to strike here again in this one. Listen, these are inevitable. I swear to gosh, we see these caution flags come out almost instantaneously when we do a crank it up, man. That is absolutely wild, the amount of times we've seen the crank it ups happen here in the crank it ups in the caution flags coming out like correspondingly together multiple times. This time we do see, looks like a couple of drivers running into each other again out there on the racetrack. Paul LaCour, Jaden Porter, a pair of contenders that are going to get tied together here in this one. The 41 down low, the 74 up on the high side here, as they're rolling a little deeper in the field, and unfortunately, I'm not sure if Porter's just going to get loose. Yeah, Porter unfortunately gets up into the outside fence right here, so Watch that 74 on the corner 4 exit up into the wall, bounces down the racetrack, gets a piece of Paul Lacourt as Lacourt was not expecting it. He bounces back into the wall, then back down over the nose here of that 41 right in the dig machine, hard down into the inside fence. Same with Jaden Porter. Heavy contact, heavy damage for both of these contenders. Now I do believe everyone else able to kind of stay out of it as these two come to a rest up on the high side here in corner number 1 and 2, and unfortunately heavy contact, heavy damage for both of these cats out there on the speedway. Let's see if we can jump on board here with Paul Lacourt. As Lacourt going to drive it deep down low, trying to work underneath that 74. Was not expecting this contact as bam, there's the first hit, there's the second hit, down into that wall. And that may be all she wrote here on the evening for Paul Lacourt or that 74 ride of Jaden Porter, as that's the second big one that we've seen Paul Lacourt get tied up into here. So no quick repair, lots of damage for that 41 ride to get fixed up, as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing as the laps are continuing to count down here in a quick hurry. We get closer and closer to the end of stage number 2. So stage number 2 going to come to a close here in just a few short more laps. Now, we were going to try to go to a crank it up, but we're going to have to wait here. Is Momo Bear coming in, showing the love over there on Facebook. How are you, Momo Bear? Momo Bear coming in, showing the big love with the heart reaction. Denver with that heart reaction. Momo Bear says, crank it up, caution flag, and cheering on that 16 rider, Matthew Wood, here this evening. Yeah, definitely the crank it up caution flags. These crank it ups, man, I swear to gosh, they get us every time. They get us every time. It's absolutely wild how often these crank it up caution flags strike here and, you know, take the wind right out of our sails. All primed and ready for a quick little, you know, drinky poo and just kind of sitting back, relaxing. And unfortunately, the crank it up caution flag strikes twice here, twice already this evening. Now hopefully we don't see it a third time or anything else, but we're gonna get ready to go to battle here as my boy Brandon Van Houten. Brandon coming in with that like on the stream. How are you, Brandon? Mr. Van Houten coming in, some matching that thumbs up here on the broadcast as we're gonna stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. As these drivers ready to rock and roll. Landon Burbage, Matthew Wood, 1 and 2 here on the speedway. Noble Blackwell, they're in position number 3 as nice and easy down through quarter number 4. They're going to hit that Geico restart zone, and we're going to go back to Green Flag Racing here from Bristol Motor Speedway. So back to Green Flag Racing here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League, and there goes Matthew Wood looking to try to take this race lead away from his teammate Landon Burbage. Burbage trying to stay in this top spot, looking to try to pick up the stage win here this evening, but so is it. Matthew Wood, the 9 rider, Noah Blackwell, Scott Healy, Josh Crider, all these drivers trying to get as many points as possible and trying to hopefully pick up the stage win to maybe earn themselves that extra playoff point as a big run for the 9 ride and the 2 on the outside of Matthew Wood. Wood's going to slide back here to at least second, but now sliding back to third as Noah Blackwell will jump up into position number 2. Scott Healy trying to follow him right on through here, but Healy can't make the move, and oh, look out, hang on to it. Grant Applegate going to go for a loop here on the front straightaway. And that will put us back under the caution flag here in this one. Applegate, let's play this one back as he goes for a long skid here on the front stretch. Luckily enough, doesn't look like he makes any contact here with anybody. Just looks like he gets a little loose, maybe a little neck coat there underneath the 29 ride of Chris Stange. And then he's just going to go around here and watch this skid. It's a great job controlling that car, locking it up, keeping himself out of hitting the inside wall right there, and a great save for Applegate, keeping that car in one piece. Unfortunately, going to use up a little bit of those tires, and he'll have to head down pit side as I believe we're going to see everyone else come down pit road as well, as I do believe they were going to use that as our potential for the end of stage number 2. So I do believe stage number 2 is going to end there on that note with the 2 ride of Landon Burbage out in front, picking up the win. Let's see if we can get Landon up here into the broadcast booth for a little in-race interview as he's down pit road. See if we can pull him up here into the broadcast booth after picking up this stage win. Let's see if we can get him in here, chat. Where is he? There he is. Hey, Landon, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. Taking a copy?
I got a copy.
Landon, man, so far that 2 ride has been very, very fast, very set here at the front of the field. I do believe stage number 2 getting called early there with the time of that caution flag. So looks like you're able to pick up stage win number 2 here on the evening as well, man. Take us back through this race and what's going through your mind right now, battling and duking it out with your teammate Matthew Wood, and you see that 9 ride of Noah Blackwell, Scott Healy, Josh Crider, all these fast cats right there behind you.
Yeah, man. I mean, I knew with qualifying on the pole, I mean, I definitely had an advantage there. You know, I led those few first laps of the race, and Brian was able to get by me, and I tried to fight back, but I wasn't able to get it, unfortunately. Got 5th in the first stage, and you know, coming back and winning the second stage is definitely going to be a good thing for me this season.
Absolutely, putting a little extra wind in your sails here. And I know you've been trying to get that monkey off your back, trying to find your way into victory lane. And after multiple times watch your teammate Matthew Wood find victory lane out there on the Speedway, do you think tonight may be the night you finally get it done and find a way to get this ally number 2 ride up into victory lane?
Yeah, man. I think I got a good shot tonight, hopefully.
Well, we look forward to seeing you out there duking it out. Landon, congrats on the stage win and congrats on the great run so far. And hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth at the end of the night.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You have a good one.
You do. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Landon Burbage. Landon picking up stage win number 2 here on the evening. A great run and a great drive so far for that number 2 machine. We'll have to wait and see what he can do here throughout the rest of the evening. Huge shout out there to Landon as well. Got that driver webcam turned on for us, so we were able to see him up there in the webcam as well for the driver interview there as stage number 2 is going to come to a close. That means we'll get him ready to rock and roll here for our final run of the night. Now, should be a 130 lap dash here to the start, to the checkered flag. No more stages, no more anything. It's run what you brung here. Hopefully, you know, maybe got some extra tires back beyond pale wall. We still see a few more caution flags throughout this stage, or we may see this one go clean and green here. So you want to make sure you got enough fuel, enough tires underneath that car to make a long run dash to the finish here. As out in front, Dallas Seawork going to get ready for another restart, another little bit of strategy here out of that 38 ride as Dallas Seawork down onto the lap pedal, down through the Geico restart zone. He had Kevin Winker there to his outside. Couldn't see the Muhlenberger Custom Homes 42 ride trying to rebound after his earlier incident, as well as I do believe he and the 79 ride also got collected in that first one. And you see Danny White right there as well. You see the 2 ride of Landon Burbage trying to work himself through some of these drivers as they went for a little bit of different pitch strategy. Matthew Wood there as well. Josh Crider up inside the top 6 now in that 5 ride as he's worked himself around Scott Healy and Noah Blackwell. As Blackwell trying to hang on to this 9 ride, sliding backwards, now has that beyond detailing 77 of Aiden Lucas working to his outside. Thomas Horvath right there as well, now working to the outside of that 9 ride. You see Brian Underwood going to jump up to the high side lane here is Dylan Carrier and William Connolly all right there stacked up against each other. Grant Applegate here in that 14th position as Chris Stange there rounding out our top 15 is out in front and still leading the way. It's Dallas Seawork. Seawork with a pretty good lead here as Kevin Winker maybe holding up the rest of these guys. These drivers trying to get around the 42 ride as Matthew Wood looks down low here on that Muhlenberger Custom Homes number 42 as Wood trying to jump up into that second spot. Here comes Landon Burbage into the fight as well. Kevin Winker not going down without a fight here at the front of the field. He's loving a little bit more of this cleaner air and cleaner racing around that 42 ride, and he's hoping to stay right up here with these drivers throughout the rest of the evening. We'll have to wait and see how this strategy plays out for that 42 machine as you do see the 16 and the 2 ride both get around him. Now here comes that 5 ride of Josh Crider looking to try to get around that 42 as well as Scott Healy. Is Healy right there ready to pounce, but out in front, man, doing a great job since the drop of the green flag here on our 3rd and final stage. It's Dallas Seawork out in front of the field showing these drivers how to get it done. This 38 ride hooked up and he's looking feisty out there on the Speedway. We saw him lead some laps early on with some pitch strategy there at the end of stage number 1, and he was able to lead a couple laps, and now here he is. He's led probably the last 4 or 5 laps since that restart, and he doesn't seem to be slowing down very much, but you do see that 16 of Matthew Wood starting to close the gap ever so slightly. So some of these drivers starting to reel him in once again. Matthew Wood there in second, Landon Burbage there in third, and Josh Crider, Scott Healy, and Aiden Lucas. Now Thomas Horvath and the sixth ride of Brian Underwood all getting around that 42 ride of Kevin Winker, as Winker has slid all the way back now to position number 9 on the Speedway, as William Connolly and that 57 ride of Grant Applegate right there on his back bumper. Some close racing action here through our top 10 on the Speedway, but out in front, Dallas Seward's going to have his hands full. Seward out in front, showing him how to get it done here in this one. Some great racing action here at the front of the field. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys are enjoying the racing action here this evening, if you guys are enjoying what these drivers are putting on for you, the show that these drivers are doing here tonight, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. Is Dallas Seward continuing to lead the way. Matthew Wood trying to take this race lead away from him. Landon Burbage right there now on their back bumper, and here comes Scott Healy. Healy going to make this a 4-car battle up and at the front of the field, as Josh Crider back here in that 5th position. A little bit of a gap back now between our 4th and 5th place contenders. Aiden Lucas looking for a way around that 5 ride, as Aiden Lucas in the Beyond Detailing 77 starting to work himself towards the front of the field. We're getting a little loose right there out at quarter number 4, able to hang on to it though and stay right there underneath that 5 machine. Thomas Horvath right there, as well as we did see Danny White run into some issues here in the 79 ride. No caution flag on the Speedway. Let's take a look back and see what happened here to the 79 of Danny White, as Danny and Kevin Winker, two drivers that were on that different strategy, restarted the front of the field, and once again looks like some serious neck code here. Is Danny kind of coming up, Winker kind of coming down a little bit. They both just kind of run out of room and more or less just run out of neck code right there. And unfortunately for the 79 ride, he's going to get spun around, noses it into that inside fence, and he was down onto the apron. No caution flag. He gets rolling here before our race leaders catch up to him, so no caution flag out there on the Speedway. So a tough break right there is the 79 ride. He's down onto the apron looking to try to get this car down pit road here, as our race leader is going to blow by him, as out in front, Matthew Wood. Now, our race leader here on the Speedway. They have been able to work themselves around Dallas Seward. Seward now starting to slide back, so the experiment and the strategy starting to fail here ever so slightly for the 38 ride of Dallas Seward, as Seward slides all the way back now to about the 10th position, and he's dropping like a stone out there on the Speedway, as Matthew Wood out in front has that number 64 of Scott Healy right there behind him. Landon Burbage there in position number 3. Josh Crider and Thomas Horvath rounding out our top 5 here on the Speedway. Then you see Brian Underwood. He's picked up stage win number 1, got that pit road penalty at the end of that first stage. Unfortunately, that whole second stage trying to regain some track position, trying to work himself back up through the field, and slowly but surely Underwood has now worked himself back up inside the top 5. So a big run there for the 6th ride, as he's looking to try to get some more fresh air to the front of the hood of that Premium Stock Car Racing League number 6 machine, as Wood out in front. He's got that fresh air and doesn't have a whole lot of care right now, because he's already locked himself into the playoffs, but more drivers back here behind him are looking to solidify their place in our Premium Stock Car Racing League's playoffs here. They'll get started in just a few short weeks from now, so time is running out. Trying to lock yourself in or trying to get those points to really solidify your spot here in our playoffs. As Matthew Wood leads the way. Healy staying right there with him. Landon Burbage is a 3-car pull away from the rest of the field, as these drivers looking to open up more and more of a gap between themselves and our 4th place contender on the racetrack. As we're going to jump into a quick PeaceMaker Gaming Crank It Up here. We're going to try it once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Crank up that volume. Cheer on your favorite drivers. We're going to crank it up here on PeaceMaker Gaming. Oh, God, chat. It did it to me again. What in the world? iRacing has been messing with me the last little while here with doing this, man. This is some absolute craziness that's been happening. I'm absolutely in this race. I gotta like withdraw from it and then come back into the race. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to get back in here as quickly as possible, as this is absolutely wild that happened again. How does that happen again? Okay, I think we gotta enter as a spotter. We gotta enter as a spotter so we can enter this again here. That is the dumbest thing in the world, man. Crank it up, caution flag, crank it up, whatever. Something's always jumping up and biting us in the buttocks, ladies and gentlemen. That's absolutely wild, but we're going to get in there as quickly as possible. We're getting loaded back into the session. Hopefully we didn't miss too much. Hopefully we didn't miss anything out there on the Speedway, as iRacing coming in and playing us like a fool once again. Just black screen and then absolutely yeeting us into leading us from the session. That's absolutely wild, man. I'm going to have to get a hold of iRacing and see what the heck is going on, why that is happening here. We're waiting for things to be validated, waiting for everything to get loaded in. Is loading slowly but surely. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's connected to the server. Now it's going to load into the server here. Just taking a sweet old time here. Come on now. Come on now. We got to crank it up to jump into, man. We can't be waiting around here. We can't be waiting around. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. A little sim that could. Come on. I know you got it. I know you got it in you. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up. Come on. 80%. 90%. We're so close, chat. We're so close. Listen, when we're in this quick little break here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please make sure you guys hit that like button on the broadcast. Hit that share button. Hit that follow and subscribe button, as we are under the caution flag. So good time for no crank it up here. So I'm not sure what we'll be able to see due to the caution flag. I do see a few drivers unfortunately getting collected in some accidents out here on the Speedway. It looks like Applegate potentially running into issues. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to, yeah, we're not going to be able to get a live look at that, as unfortunately that was just before we got in here. So can't get a good look at what happened between Applegate and Jordan Hand, as that will bring out our caution flag, and we'll get them ready to rock and roll here once again as we get back into the server. Thank you for bearing with us here in this one as we'll get ready to go back to battle here this evening. We'll get ready to duke it out here once again for all these drivers, as man, that's absolutely wild that happened here once again. I don't know why in the world that has happened a couple times now over the last couple weeks. I feel like that's absolutely insane that that's an issue that has kind of happened again here, and hopefully we don't run into it anymore here tonight. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. I don't know if we could get back into the race if anything happened again. I don't know if we could get back in here or not. So hopefully nothing happens. Hopefully everything stays clean and green, as we are going to get ready to go back to green flag racing here. Noah Blackwell is being scored as our race leader. Matthew Wood there in second. Landon Burbage and Scott Healy bringing up row number 2 on the racetrack. Then we see the 54 Thomas Horvath, the 6 rider Brian Underwood, the 77 Aiden Lucas, the 5 rider Josh Crider there in 7th and 8th. Then we see the 29 of Chris Stange and William Connolly rounding out our top 10, as we are going to quickly see these drivers go back down through the Geico restart zone, and we are back to green flag racing here in this one. So the green flag back out into the air. Noah Blackwell with a great restart there, as he's looking to try to open up a bit of a lead between himself and Matthew Wood. Wood trying to track him down though. There in position number 2 is Scott Healy. There in 3rd in the 2 ride, Landon Burbage rounding out our top 4. But here comes Brian Underwood. Underwood up inside the top 5. He had to take his time, be patient, work himself through that traffic after the pit road penalty there at the end of stage number 1, as we do see another caution flag come right back out here in this one. Looks like Kevin Winker gonna run into some issues here. Looks like Jordan Hand may have gotten collected in this one. The Optic Texas ride, as 42 trying to work himself down low underneath the Build Submarines ride and just gets loose here. Rear end kicks out and around on him, and we see him go around, and the 1 ride go around trying to avoid him there on the bottom side of the Speedway. You see Jordan Hand. Jordan Hand's going to get a good run coming into this. He's trying to just kind of keep himself out of trouble and trying to avoid that 42 that's sideways in front of him. Jumps up, It's into the numbers of the 8 rod. He goes for that slide there as well. Doesn't look like too much damage to either of those competitors. So a quick turnaround for Jordan Hand and for the 42 of Mr. Kevin Winker. So we'll get these drivers back out there onto the speedway. We'll get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in this one. As we will get ready to set them back loose, we will get ready to go back to battle here this evening. We are going to jump in this time for certain. I'll crank it up here, and hopefully we do not see a caution flag. Your boy needs a drink. I need to go pee real quick as well. So we're going to crank it up here for this restart, ladies and gentlemen, and get ready to hear the sights and sounds around Bristol Motor Speedway here this evening. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to jump right on board here with our race leader, Noah Blackwell. As we got the webcam here for Noah. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull his webcam on, and we're going to jump right on board for our race leader and see what he sees here around the speedway and getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing out there on the speedway. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers. We crank it up here this evening. from the field, Landon Burbidge is going to go around. Caution flag on the Speedway. We were just about to talk about this battle here at the front of the field. We see the two-ride Landon Burbidge go for a loop-de-loop here on the Speedway. A heartbreaker there for that number 2 ride, running so well in position number 2, and all of a sudden things come to a close for him in a quick hurry as we're going to take a look back and see what happened here again to this 2 ride as he was working to the back bumper of our race leader Matthew Wood for multiple laps here. You see that 64 ride right there as well. That is Healy right there. He's able to keep himself right there in contention. A good 3-car battle there throughout that crank it up session. See Wood right up against the outside wall. That 2 ride sliding into it. Has to get onto the binders. You see that fire coming out of the exhaust pipes right there. He's rolling out of the throttle. Unfortunately, the 64 ride not expecting it. Gets in there, gets him shot into the back bumper, gets him loose, shoots him down the racetrack onto the apron. Then he's going to spin right back up the racetrack. Luckily enough, missing that 66 ride as the 66 machine of Ben Gleason almost got tied up in that one. Luckily enough, everyone able to avoid it. Everyone's able to stay out of the way of this 2 ride as he tries to get pointed back in the right direction and keep on rolling out there on the Speedway. But that's how quickly things can happen here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and we are ready to watch these guys duke it out to the very end. As some more pit strategy here. For a lot of these drivers, a lot of different pit strategy. We see our race leaders work down pit road. We do see Matthew Wood able to keep that race lead, but right now it is showing the 38 ride of Dallas Seward as our race leader. Now, I think Dallas is going to come down pit side here, so no, he's going to stay out on the racetrack. So, interesting to say the least, as Seward is our race leader, as Matthew Wood in second, Scott Healy there in third, Aiden Lucas in position number 4. The 6 ride of Brian Underwood there in that 5th position. Then we see Chris Stange and Thomas Horvath rounding out our top 7. William Connolly, Kevin Winker, Dylan Carrier, our top 10 here on the Speedway. Farrell Robbins there in the 11th position with Josh Crider, Landon Burbidge, Nathan Brookover, and Jordan Hand, our top 15 here on the Speedway. I do believe Hand looking for that wave around to get back onto the lead lap. Noah Blackwell, one of those drivers, also hoping to get that wave around, but looks like he is actually going to stay a lap down here as he's kind of trapped in behind the 38 ride with Dallas Seward not coming down pit side. That's going to make it so that Noah Blackwell Ryan Haller and the 72 ride cannot get that wave around and get a lap back out there on the racetrack. You can see Jonathan Gaston back out onto the speedway here as well after his earlier accident. Tons of damage on that 72 ride, but he joins the fun here once again. So we get to see the Gaston's iRacing graphics ride rejoin the field and look to duke it out and have a little bit more fun here on the speedway, even though he is multiple laps down. Is out in front, Dallas Seward playing a little bit of different pitch strategy here than everybody else, and he's looking to try to see if he can use it to his advantage to maybe put this 38 ride into victory lane. We saw him last time he did this, get a great restart, a great launch, and able to stay out in front for a good handful of laps before sliding backwards. So we'll have to wait and see if this one can play out again in favor of that number 38 machine. He's got Matthew Wood though right to his outside. His mama bear cheered on that 16 ride, says go Matthew Wood, and here we go. Restart once again late in this race as the laps are clicking down in a quick hurry. Here you go, those fresh tires gonna quickly make quick work of that number 38. Seward slides already back outside the top 5 here on the speedway, and Scott Healy on the loud pedal able to make some moves and puts the 64 ride at the front of the field. So the Coca-Cola Axe target number 64 at the front of the field. The Continental Energizer number 64 ready, sponsored by everybody here at the front of the field as Scott Healy takes that race lead. You see Matthew Wood there in second. Here comes Brian Underwood and Aiden Lucas. But we do see another caution flag here on the speedway. Kevin Winker gonna run into issues in the caution flag back out here once again this evening. So the caution flag gonna come back out. We'll take a look back and see what happened here as Winker Nation seeing Kevin Winker struggle a little bit here tonight. He's gotten tied up in a couple incidences in here. Just door to door with the 25. William Connolly coming out of the corner. They're a little 3 wide right here. The 42 down low, 25 in the middle, and looks like Winker just coming up off the corner. Gets a piece of that 25 right, starts to go around the 5 machine of Crider. Nowhere to go right there. Gets a piece of him, helps him go around, and Kevin Winker going to go for a slide. Looks like for the most part going to avoid any major damage or calamities there. So a good break there for that 42 as he'll be able to keep that car rolling out there on the speedway. No heavy damage, but unfortunately a loss of momentum and a loss of a bunch of positions there on the speedway as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments. Let's take a look back here at this restart as that number 64 of Healy gets a great launch here. And behind that 38 ride, now to quarter number 2, he just launches forward, gets around the 16 ride, and gets around our race leader, Dallas Seward, here on this restart. Is nice and easy down through 1 and out of 2. Just puts that hammer down. Seward goes up the racetrack, has to roll out of the throttle, and that just puts the 64 straight out in front. Matthew Wood now in second. Gonna have to try to figure out a way to get back around that 64 machine. This is the first time here this evening we've seen the 64 at the front of the field, so Scott Healy will get ready for his first restart of the evening. So Healy will have to try to keep all these drivers at bay, try to keep all these guys back there behind him. It'll be interesting to see how long he can keep them back there, if he can hold them off for the rest of this race, and maybe find himself a way into victory lane, or if Matthew Wood, Aiden Lucas, Brian Underwood, Chris Danger, any of these other drivers can try to find a way up and around him. As we did see that 2 ride of Landon Burbage for a lot of this evening. Lead laps here at the front of the field, or be up inside the top 3, duking it out here on the evening. He brought up that second last caution flag where he went around. He had to restart that restart here, about the 16th position. He was able to pick up 6 spots on the racetrack and jumps up into position number 10 now here on the speedway. So he's trying to work himself back to the front of the field here as well. We'll have to wait and see if Landon Burbage can rebound from that contact in that spin between himself and that 64 rider Healy just moments ago, and see if he can get himself back up here towards the front of the field. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys haven't though already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. in as my boy Kevin Timmy Bubba coming in, showing the big love here in this one. Not only coming in with the like over on Facebook, but coming in and dropping that resubscription over on Twitch, coming in with the 15 mother fluffing months of being a subscriber over there on the YouTube or on the Twitch channel, brother. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane, Bubba. 15 months of being a subscriber. That's absolutely wild. Kevin, Mr. Timmy coming in, showing the love with that like over on Facebook as well. And my boy Jeremy Vaughn Racing. Jeremy, how are you, brother? How you doing tonight? My dude coming in, showing the love here in this one as Bubba says, it's on auto, brother. It's on auto. Well, we love it. We love it. We appreciate you. We appreciate you when you come in here and flex it, show it off, and show the love here as we go back to Green Flag Racing here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League. Out in front, it's that 64 ride of Scott Neely. Neely leads the way with Matthew Wood. They're in position number 2 as we're counting down these laps closer and closer to the finish of this feature event. Brian Underwood, who was able to pick up the win in stage number 1, now finds himself back here in that 3rd spot as here comes that 2 machine. Landon Burbage trying to work himself through some of this traffic, trying to rejoin that fight at the front of the field as he was all over the 16 rider Matthew Wood, trying to take the race lead away. He got a little tight underneath of him, had to check up as he was checking up. Scott Healy, our race leader, ended up getting a piece of that 2 machine, spinning him around to bring out one of our newest caution flags on the evening. Healy, off that restart, was able to take this race lead away, and he's looking to try to run away with it here as Matthew Wood trying to hold off Brian Underwood. Underwood trying to work himself back into position number 2 here on the Speedway. Could not make that pass happen that time as the 16 of Matthew Wood will clear the 6 machine. So the Premium Stock Car Racing League, Gaston's iRacing Graphics number 6 ride slides back to that 3rd spot as Aiden Lucas in the Beyond Detailing number 77 ride there in 4th, and Chris Stange, they're in position number 5 as the caution flag is going to fly here once again. So yellow flag going to come back out. We'll have to take a look back as it looks like possibly Kevin Winker running into issues again here in the 42. So Winker nice and easy down into corner. Oh, it's Paul Lacourt turned around already. Lacourt's going to stay in the throttle. Unfortunately, hooks and spins that 42 rider around right there. Not sure what happened here to Paul Lacourt. Lacourt's had some pretty tough runnings here already this evening. Finds himself multiple laps down back in the 22nd position. And I think Lacourt's going to send it into the corner looking for a big run. The rear end just going to step out and around on him. And then nowhere to go here for Kevin Winker. Winker's going to slam into the side of him. You see the 9 ride of Noah Blackwell. He's going to get in there and get a shot into it as well. Some pretty good front end damage for the 9 ride. And then 41 and the 42 stay kind of hooked together, and around goes Kevin Winker to bring out yet again another caution flag. So cautions breeding cautions here at the beautiful Bristol Motor Speedway as we'll get these drivers figured out and get everyone ready to rock and roll here once again. Another big restart coming up for the 64 Scott Healy. Healy's going to have to be on his A game here again this evening as he continues to lead the way. Matthew Wood, Brian Underwood right there behind him. Aiden Lucas, the Beyond Detailing Camaro, they're in position number 4 with Chris Stange, Thomas Horvath, Josh Crider, Dylan Carrier, Landon Burbage, and William Connolly rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway. And we see Jordan Hand, Nathan Brookover, Dallas Seward, Farrell Robbins, Ryan Haller, Kevin Winker, our top 16. Then Noah Blackwell down pit side there in the 17th spot. Chris Getz in the 18th position back here down pit side as well. Danny White rolling in the 19th spot with Ben Gleason there in 20th. Paul Lacourt in 21st as Grant Applegate off the racetrack here. A tough break there for Applegate. A tough break for Jaden Porter as he's also left the racing surface. Jonathan Gaston rejoining us here on the evening. Rolling now in the 24th spot is Benjamin Romano, Melvin Brangruer, and Evan Stewart also off of the Speedway. So we've lost a good handful of drivers here throughout this race. Some of them due to prior commitments, other leagues that they were running, other ones running into issues out there on the racetrack. Heavy damage and a lot of collisions, and unfortunately putting them down pit side for an extended period of time. as we will get them ready to rock and roll. We will get ready to go back to battle here in this one. Bubba, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing very, very well. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there's also a special thing that Twitch is doing right now. If you guys have Twitch or anything else, you can subscribe to our channel for free over on Twitch. Become a part of the PeaceMaker Sub Club and exclusive paid subscriptions over there. But you can get into it for free with your Prime subscription over on Twitch. And right now, any gifted subscriptions, Twitch is adding on bonus subs to it. So if you're feeling generous, you want to help us out with the day-to-day operations here on PeaceMaker Gaming, Twitch right now is adding on to any of your donations of gifted subscriptions there on our Twitch stream. As we are live right now, not only over on YouTube, but also on Facebook and Twitch, as well as we are back to Green Flag Racing here in this one. Quickly, Scott Healy with another good restart. It will jump out in front, and he's looking to try to open up a bit of a lead between himself and Matthew Wood, trying to give himself a little bit of breathing room out there on the Speedway. Aiden Lucas trying to jump up and take position number 3 away from Brian Underwood, as Underwood rolling the bottom lane in the 77 ride of Aiden Lucas. Now going to jump into position number 3. So a great run here late in the race for that 77 of Aiden Lucas, as he's going to try to hang on and hold off that 6 right here for a podium finish on the evening. Is Thomas Horvath trying to hang on to position number 5 as Chris Stange and that 88 of Dylan Carrier right there behind him. The 5 right of Josh Crider there in the 8th position with William Connolly and Landon Burbage, our top 10 out there on the Speedway. Jordan Hand, Noah Blackwell there in 11th and 12th with Dallas Seward, Nathan Brookover, our top 14, and Kevin Winker rounding out our top 15 here on the evening. Beryl Robbins and Ryan Haller rounding out the last remaining drivers here on the lead lap, as the 99 going to go for a little bit of a skid there through corner number 1 and 2. Going to keep that car pointed in the right direction. Keeps on rolling there in that 17th spot. Unfortunately, quite a bit of ways away now from our 16th place drivers. Out in front, Scott Healy looking to try to pick up the win here this evening. Healy at the front of the field. Matthew Wood there in second, trying to hunt him down late in this race. Aiden Lucas there in position number 3. He's able to clear and keep that 6 right of Brian Underwood back there behind him. Thomas Horvath and able to hang on to position number 5 as Dylan Carrier working right there behind him. Here comes Josh Crider there in 7th as Chris Stange slides back now to that 8th spot on the Speedway. Landon Burbage in the 2, trying to work himself a little closer to the front of the field here once again after having a very, very strong car throughout the first couple stages of this race. Was able to pick up stage win number 2 on the evening. Unfortunately, contact there not too long ago between himself and the 64 as Scott Healy sent him around, and unfortunately that damage may be a little too much right now for that 2 ride out there on the Speedways. He hasn't really been able to make any headway since getting up into about that 8th position. He's actually kind of fell back a few spots as Connolly and Jordan Hand have both been able to work themselves around him, as Connolly getting very loose there down the front straightaway, able to keep that 25 ride pointing in the right direction though as he continues to roll here in that 10th spot right on the back bumper of the Optic Texas number 1 of Jordan Hand. And Scott Healy leads the way. Wood still trying to hunt him down, but that lead is starting to grow more and more and more as Healy out in front by almost half a second now between himself and that 16 down across the line. They will click off another lap and we'll get closer and closer to our checkered flag with only 16 more laps left to go here in this one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this one's coming to an end in a quick hurry, and it's still anybody's race. If we see another late race caution flag, it can really bust this thing wide open. It can really make some drivers have to put on a big move, and there's the caution flag. Oh, brother. Caution flag out on the racetrack is down across the line. 14 more laps left to go. We'll be having ourselves a Saturday night shootout here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. We're gonna probably be about a 9 to 10 lap dash for cash here this evening. All the money on the line as we'll take a look and see the 8 ride. The Nilla Wafers, number 8, the Nutter Butter Machine. Unfortunately, here on the high side, you see Noah Blackwell skidding there, and unfortunately the 8 ride's going to do the same thing out of the corner and hard down into the inside fence there. Heavy damage for that 8 machine of Nathan Brookover as they'll take him down pit side for an extended period of time. You see the 9 ride losing it down low, And then almost instantly you see this 25 ride kind of getting a little loose right there as well. The 8 ride getting loose there, going off the corner. This car just shoots down the racetrack, and unfortunately hard contact there into that inside fence. I'm not sure if there was oil or something on the racetrack right there to see all these drivers run into those issues coming out of corner number 4. In through 3 and 4. There's a lot of drivers getting slideways here on the Speedway. We'll jump right on board with Brooke over as see that 9 ride get sideways. See some drivers up in front of him get sideways, and then here he goes, woo! Right around and hard into the Z-Max logo there on the inside. Safer barrier, a very heavy hit though nonetheless for that machine is Steve, Mr. Colvada coming in, showing the love. How are you, Mr. Colvada, coming in, showing the big love here in this one, dropping that like on the broadcast. How are you tonight, brother? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful evening as we're going to get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in just a few more moments. Oh, man, we've been watching these guys duke it out already for 240 laps, something like that. 240 laps of racing action, almost 240 here this evening. And the laps are counting down here, and it's going to come down to what could be a dash for cash here late in the race. A regular Saturday night shootout here with only a handful of laps left to go, as we'll have to wait and see if the lights turn off the official iRacing pace car this time. No. So the lights do stay on the official iRacing pace car here. Excuse me, I have to cough there for a quick second as the 64 Ryan getting ready to anticipate this restart. Gonna have to hit his marks, can't miss a shift, has to make sure he chooses the right line in the right lane here on this restart to keep all these drivers back there behind him. Matthew Wood, Aiden Lucas, Brian Underwood, Thomas Horvath in the rest of the field. They know they got maybe one more opportunity here to really try to make a move and gain some spots here and maybe put themselves up into victory lane or into a podium finish here on the evening. So things are going to get a little bit risky here as there goes the lights on the official iRacing pace car. And we will see these guys go back to Green Flag Racing with 9 laps left to go. So it's a 9-lap shootout here to the end, and we may not be done with those yellow flags yet. Cautions breed cautions in this late in the race as the pressure continues to build. The anticipation for this finish continues to ramp up. These drivers trying to get everything they can, not going to back down, not going to give an inch out there on the racetrack, and we may see some more contact, some more caution flags fly before the end of this feature event. As Healy getting ready for this big restart. Matthew Wood down to his inside, getting ready to try to launch here down low, trying to get a good restart. Unfortunately, that 64 going to hit his marks perfectly down into corner number 1 as he gets a great restart, jumps right back out in front now. Here comes Brian Underwood. Underwood trying to follow him right on through. Underwood will jump back up into position number 2 here on the Speedway. Does Brian Underwood have anything left in the gas tank? And here comes Josh Crider. Crider trying to jump down low to take position number 3 away from Matthew Wood. Wood, though, with that outside momentum, will stay in position number 3. And Scott Healy out in front looking to try to run away with this one. That 64 right at the front of the field. Brian Underwood there in second. Matthew Wood back to third. Aiden Lucas all over his back bumper as the 77 ride trying to put himself up and onto the podium. As Scott Healy, though, trying to pick up a big checkered flag here in that Coca-Cola Cottonelle Energizer Target number 64 ride as he's sponsored by everybody here this evening. Scott Healy out in front, down across the line. We'll click off another lap here in this one. He gets the big high five from our flagman as down the back straight away. He's going to lead us in by about half a second between himself and Brian Underwood. As Underwood there in position number 2, cannot track him down as of right now. We do see Matthew Wood trying to hang on still for third. Aiden Lucas, Josh Crider, our top 5 here on the Speedway. Thomas Horvath there in 6th. William Connolly there in 7th. Dylan Carrier back there in the 8th spot. Then we see the number 2 of Landon Burbage right there as well, trying to work himself a little closer to the front of the field. Dallas Seward rounding out our top 10 as Chris Stage back there behind him on the outside of the top 10, looking in as down across the line. Another lap clicked off for the 64 as Scott Healy, as Healy sees 2 more laps left to go, and that lead continuing to grow here for the 64. As here from the beautiful Bristol Motor Speedway down at a corner number 4, we will see that white flag fly one more time around here for Scott Healy, as Healy looking to put himself into the premium Stock Car Racing League victory lane here this evening. Down through corner number 3 and at a corner number 4 for the final time. It's the 64 of Scott Healy who will pick up the win here at the last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. Healy will find a victory lane here in this one as Brian Underwood will come home in second and Matthew Wood will round out our top 3 here on the evening, but it's all Scott Healy as he gets it done, picks up the dump here in this one. The 16 going to give him a couple shots in the shorts right there. Maybe he just showing maybe displeasure how he ran the 2 right or how he got around that number 16. I'm not sure, or they were for congratulations here on the evening, but nonetheless, it's that 64 who's picking up the win and pulling this ride up into victory lane. Man, what a run and what a drive here all evening long for Scott Healy. Is Kara Billy Tabor coming in showing the love with the like on the stream? How are you, Billy? Billy coming in showing the big love here in this one. So matching that thumbs up on the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. If you haven't already, make sure you guys do the exact same thing. Hit that mother fluffing like button on the broadcast. Hit that share button. Hit that subscribe button. And give it a round of applause in the comment section right now to our race winner, the 64, Scott Healy, as he gets it done and pulls himself up and in to victory lane here this evening. Man, what a run and what a drive here for that 64. We'll get ready to jump up into the broadcast booth with our top 3 finishers for some post-race interviews. I have to wait and see them jump into the booth here, into the waiting room, to pull them into the room here to be able to give them some post-race interviews as Scott Healy, Brian Underwood, Matthew Wood, our top 3 out there on the Speedway. Man, these guys put on one heck of a show, one heck of a race here for us all evening long. Man, oh man, oh man. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun, a lot of great racing right there, and the season's not done yet, chat. We still got a couple races until our playoffs get underway. Then we got a lot of very intense playoff racing action here on the Premium Stock Car Racing League. You guys do not want to miss a second of it. Hit that gosh heckin' follow button. Hit that subscribe button. Turn those bell notifications on. That way you never miss it when we go live here on PeaceMaker Gaming, as we'll get ready to pull our race winner up and in to the broadcast booth. Hey, Scott, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much, Scott. Man, what a win. What a drive. Take us back through this one. As all evening long, we saw you up inside the top 5, duking it out here with all these drivers, especially with, Brian Underwood, Matthew Wood, the 2 rider Landon Burbage, and slowly but surely as the track starts to wear in, the tires start to wear off, and all the different pit strategy and stage strategy kind of goes out the window here in that final stage. We see the 3 of you, Matthew Wood, Landon Burbage, and yourself, kind of pull away from the rest of the field. You guys were looking to try to settle between yourselves, and we see, obviously, Landon having to get checked up from getting into his teammate there in the 16 ride. As he's checking up, you get into the back end of him. The 2 ride goes around. That, unfortunately, takes the chances for Landon Burbage out the window, but opens up another door for yourself as you're able to get ready for a big restart. You had a lot of big drivers there around you, but you're able to get a great launch and a great run to get around Dallas Seward and that 16 of Matthew Wood, and from that point on, you never looked back.
Yeah, I knew I had a fast car tonight. I just tried to save as much tires as I can, try to get the feel of the car. Car's kind of on edge. It's either loose or tight. It doesn't know what it wants to do the whole night. The incident with Matthew and Landon, I don't know what happened. I think Matthew hit the wall or came down on Landon. I don't know exactly what happened. All I know is I saw 2 cars check up in front of me, and I had nowhere to go. I tried to avoid Landon as much as I could, but there was no avoiding that. I knew when we had that restart, we had that one car with older tires. It was either I gotta go or it's all done. I mean, if you're not in a lead, there's no way around to pass anybody at this track. So it's either do or die at that moment. So thankfully I came up on top. As soon as I got first place, I was like, yeah, I got this. So thankfully we got this win tonight.
Absolutely, it's confidence right there. Knowing that once you got that race lead, you are not going to give it back to any of these other drivers. As there was a lot of dogfighting going on back there behind you, man. A lot of 2x2 battles out there on the speedway, and you were able to open up a couple good leads. But that last restart, where you get a little bit nervous, when you look in that rearview mirror, you see Matthew Wood, you see Brian Underwood, and Aiden Lucas, Josh Crider, all these very talented drivers back there behind you, ready to try to pounce and take this win away from you.
A little bit. I know how people are at Bristol. They want to bump and run, try to get around people. But I knew the couple restarts before I was pulling away, so my on edge at the end was a little less than a couple restarts before that. But all in all, I mean, it was a fun, great race.
Absolutely, brother. A lot of fun and a great race out there. An even better race for yourself as you pull yourself up here into victory lane. Scott, who'd you like to thank for such a great run and great performance? You're in this one.
You for doing the broadcast, everyone who puts the efforts for these races, all my teammates, friends, family, my girlfriend, Team Conti, and that's about it, man.
Well, Scott, congratulations on the race win. Hopefully more and more to come here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League, and more opportunities for us to talk to you up here in the broadcast booth.
All right, thank you. Have a good night, man.
You too, and don't party too hard down there in victory lane.
I'll try not to. I'll try not to.
Perfect. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Scott Healy. Scott picking up the win, pulling that number 64 up into victory lane. It's Kev says, hard race for me, but I'll take a top 15, the 99 car. The 99 car, I love it. I love it. How are you, brother? How you doing tonight? It says, hoping I get my day where I'm interviewed by you, my man. Yeah, brother, one of these days we'll get you up here. Without a doubt. I mean, you've had some very good runs that win a stride late in these races. You've had a lot of good opportunities to come home and good finishes here. And I'm sure without a doubt before this season's done, I think we'll see that 99 ride. I think we'll see you up here, maybe in victory lane, or at least up here for, stage wins, or potentially for, just solid top 3 performances out of you, Ryan, and I'm sure we'll see you up here in the booth without a doubt. And if not, listen, probably the last few races of the season before our championship race, we'll try to pull in other drivers as well. I'll probably put a thing up in the Discord and try to see all the drivers that haven't had an opportunity to come in for interviews. So we'll try to pull some guys up through some of the other races as well. Try to get everybody their time to shine up here in the broadcast booth here on PeaceMaker Gaming. As Mama Bear, Susie Dickinson over there on Facebook as well, says, awesome job, Aaron. You are the best. I appreciate that, Mama Bear, coming in. Show the love here in this one. Show the big love here tonight as we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher here this evening, man. Our second place driver, Brian Underwood. A great run, a great drive. Was able to pick up stage win number 1 on the evening. Unfortunately for Brian, one spot shy of victory lane here as we'll get ready to pull him up into the booth here tonight in this one. Brian, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Brian, brother, you almost did it. You almost rebounded back to victory lane here this evening, man, after picking up that first stage win on the evening, then getting that pit road penalty, and having to work yourself back through all that traffic, all that chaos back there, man, as there was a dogfight trying to work yourself back up through the field. But slowly but surely, you get back up there inside the top 10 there by the end of stage number 2, and then you start picking them off a little bit here, a little bit there. Then late in this race, a couple late race caution flags opens up the door for you to jump up here and snag this second spot, and unfortunately come up one spot shy of victory lane.
Yeah, I mean, that's been my season pretty much. It's this is actually only my second top 5, so I guess I'll take it. Been a long season. Stages have been my blessing with points, so that's a good thing. I don't have to worry about points in the playoff. But yeah, it was overall it was a good race. I wasn't prepared on pitting, and I missed the cone, and I think if I didn't have that, I thought I had a better shot at the win, just because track position was pretty huge. After tires got some heat in them, the bottom just kind of went away. And I mean, the people up front, besides, I think, Landon should have been up there because he was fast all night. I mean, all those guys up front were fun to race around, and yeah, it was a good night.
Absolutely a good night and a strong performance here for you as you park that six, Brian, up here on the podium. A solid second place performance, Brian. Who would you like to thank for a great day here at Bristol Motor Speedway?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta thank you for putting on the show. I gotta thank all these drivers that showed up. I mean, it's pretty good car count for a short track. Definitely had some tempers flying. Overall, I mean, there was a lot of good battles, a lot of side by side. The setup made it kind of challenging, so like I said, overall it's pretty good. And then gotta thank all our sponsors for what they do. They help, you know, help us sustain this league each season. And I mean, it's collective effort. So just, you know, everybody that shows up, everybody has part in it.
Absolutely, brothers. It's a community that makes this possible, and a very, very strong community, a very strong group of drivers here, and coming home in position number 2, showing them that being the man with the plan, well, the boss man here in the series, that you can still get it done here in that 6 rise. You pull it up into position number 2. A great run and a great drive here for you tonight, Brian. Hopefully we'll see you back up here in the broadcast booth more and more here before the playoffs start, and then throughout the playoffs as well, as I know only a couple of races left here before our playoffs get underway, and those points are ever so wonderful to get. You got to try to get as many as possible here to try to work yourself into those playoffs on points, or trying to put yourself into victory lane here one of these nights to lock yourself in.
Thank you.
Absolutely, Brian. Congrats on the great run. Congrats on the great drive, and we look forward to seeing you back out there on the racetrack next week.
All right, thanks.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Brian Underwood. As Brian coming home there in position number 2. A great run and a great drive there for that number 6 machine. As we'll get ready now to pull in our 3rd place finisher, the number 16 of Matthew Wood. Wood coming home there in that 3rd spot on the Speedway. We'll get ready to pull him up into the broadcast booth, but first, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, over 20 viewers watching right now over on YouTube. Only got 7 likes on the stream. Hit that mother fluffing like button right now if you haven't already. Please do us a favor. It's absolutely free to do. Helps the stream grow a ton. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit that follow and or subscribe button, and become part of the PeaceMaker family here today as we'll get ready to pull our 3rd place finisher up here into the broadcast booth. Hey, Matthew, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. Take a copy.
Yeah.
Matthew, man, a very strong run, a very good race here for you all night long, but take us back through this one a little late, as I know you and your teammate, the two of Landon Burbage, working very well together out there on the racetrack, and then this long green flag run after our first couple stages come to a close. You guys are running 1 and 2. He's working on your back bumper, trying to find a way to get around you, and then gets a big run, has to check up as he's checking up to avoid you. 64 Ryan gets him a shot in the back bumper there, spins him around, kind of takes Landon out of this one, and then you have to try to battle here, a lap car, well, not a lap car, but a car on a different tire strategy there, so the older tires from Dallas Seward up there at the front of the field, you have to try to work with that restart, and then the 64 Ryan able to jump in front of you and take this race lead away, and just looked like you weren't able to battle back to try to get back around it.
No, yeah, I don't exactly know what Dallas. I don't know what that mindset is. Like every single restart, he stayed out, and then he almost wrecked. And that would have been terrible if he wrecked, because that's in front of the whole freaking field. But I don't know. I'm just sick and tired of every time Landon has a shot, he gets screwed over, and just my only goal, because I was in the lead. I was gonna let both Scott and Landon by because I sucked. I mean, I was up in the lead, but I sucked. I couldn't figure out 1 and 2. The bumps were horrible. They've done screwed up this car. iRacing has. But no, off of whatever corner we were coming off of, I told Landon to go low. I told him to go low again, and then I don't know if he didn't hear me or it just didn't turn, but he didn't go low. I think 2 or 3 times I said it, but he has his audio way up, so that might be the thing. But then I'm just being stupid and paying attention to him and hit the wall. He checks up. Scott has nowhere to go. So, yeah, it just, I don't know. It's every single time Landon has a shot, it's just, I've screwed him over. I don't know. I'm not. I'm glad Scott won because Scott definitely deserved it. He was. I'm pretty sure he's really good on short tracks. So I kind of expected him to be up there, but as far as Landon goes, I mean, he had the fastest car all weekend by far. Should have been leading this entire race. I was kind of sitting behind him in stage 1 and 2, and then of course stage 3 comes. Like always, like Darlington, same freaking thing happened at Darlington, and I'm still mad about that. But I don't know. Other than that, I feel bad for Dylan. Dylan just got taken out again. This time he was in the top 5 on the last lap. So, a lot to unpack as far as race control goes, but I don't even. Oh, Old Atlanta's next week, and I'm very scared because of how with how much the car was bottoming out here. I don't even want to know.
Yeah, so a very sketchy next race to go into. I'm sure it's going to be a handful for everybody. It was definitely a handful for everybody here on Bristol Motor Speedway as well, obviously with the changes to the race cars and everyone trying to kind of figure that back out and still compete and run fast laps and battle here around the Speedway. We saw, a few caution flags, a lot of restarts here for you, and for a long time we saw you and that too right at the front of the field, man. It looked like a very strong run, a very strong performance. You were able to finish it off and come home with a solid third place run here tonight in this one. Unfortunate break for your teammate Landon having to settle in for 8th, but man, a great run, a great show here by the two of you guys, man. Who would you like to thank for such a great run, a great performance here this evening?
Just thank Noah for giving me the paint scheme, the team for being there. Thank the Lord for the opportunity. That's again, I hate it for Landon. It's every week.
Definitely a tough break right there for Landon, a tough finish here for him, but still being able to hang on for a 8th place run. Hopefully, getting that stage win and some more stage points, helping him towards making it in maybe on points throughout the playoffs, as you only got a couple more opportunities to help try to lock your teammates here into the show.
Yeah, obviously a couple more opportunities, and Landon's up there. I don't even know what tracks are after that, to be honest with you. I can look really quickly. All right, yeah. So it's Atlanta and Chicago. Landon's pretty good at Atlanta from what I've seen in Chicago, but with these cars, I don't know. Everyone's complaining on the forums about them, so hopefully something gets done, but I doubt it.
Absolutely. Well, we'll have to wait and see, brother. We can't wait to see how you guys either, try to work with these cars the way they are right now, or try to relearn them again if they change them up again on us. But hopefully they kind of revert back to the way they were, and so you guys have no issues and no bottoming out issues out there on the Speedway, and just some good hard racing out there to finish off this regular season. But Matthew, a great run, a great race, a solid third place run. Congratulations here again on that great finish, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth next week.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely. For the rest of your evening. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher, Matthew Wood. Wood coming home there in position number 3. A great run and a great drive there for that number 16 machine. Unfortunately, though, that is going to do it for us here this evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Everyone coming in and showing the love here throughout the evening. All the likes, the comments, the shares. I appreciate each and every single one of y'all for tuning in and showing the love here in this one. And it's not too late. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit that share button, hit that follow or subscribe subscribe button. Become part of the PeaceMaker family here today. Become part of the fam here on PeaceMaker Gaming, and turn those bell notifications on. That way you never miss it when we go green flag racing here on PeaceMaker Gaming. But I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out for now, baby. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen.
Engines roar like a beast. Cheering crowd can't sit still. Rubber burns on concrete. Fight for glory, thrill to kill. To the finish line we drive. Screeching wheels we come alive. Speed demons through the night. Racing with all our might. Fuel gauge dancing low. Sweat drips, countdown slow. Wind cutting faces now. Victory, our solemn vow. To the finish line we drive. Screeching wheels we come alive. Speed demons through the night. Racing with all our might. With all our might. Fuel gauge dancing low. Sweat drips, countdown slow. Wind cutting faces now. Victory, our solemn vow. To the finish line we drive. Screeching wheels we come alive. Speed demons through the night. Racing with all our might. Adrenaline rush we crave. Pushing past edges brave. Life in fast lane feeding fire. Tracks our only true desire. Helmet on focused eyes. Crowds roar reaches skies. Pit stop seconds to spare. In this war no place for care. To the finish line we drive. Screeching wheels we come alive. Speed demons through the night. Racing with all our might. Engines roar like a beast. Cheering crowd can't sit still. Rubber burns on concrete. Fight for glory, thrill to kill. To the finish line we drive. Screeching wheels we come alive. Speed demons through the night. Racing with all our might. Fuel gauge dancing low. Sweat drips, countdown slow. Wind cutting faces now. Victory, our solemn vow. To the finish line we drive. Screeching wheels we come alive. Speed demons through the night. Racing with all our might. With all our might. Fuel gauge dancing low. Sweat drips, countdown slow. Wind cutting faces now. Victory, our solemn vow. To the finish line we drive. Screeching wheels we come alive. Speed demons through the night. Racing with all skies. Pit stop seconds to spare. In this war, no place for care.